I'm Ann Tait. I'm one of the parents who have come to this wonderful reunion, and I must congratulate the school and everyone here. As I was a parent with 4 children who all graduated from ISKL, and Jenny Tait being the first, and followed by Raymond, then Sally and Maria. I did quite a few things with the school, namely we started the president photography coming over. We used to photograph all the children because I was head of the Mothers Club, and we raised funds to buy books and things for the school, varying things. So that was a big fundraiser. It was photographing every child in the school, selling the photographs back to the parents. And then I got involved with the canteen. And, of course, at that stage there was no lunch given at the old school. There was the peanut butter nabs and drinks and fruit and various other things. So when we moved over here to the new school, we used to... Well, I got involved with the canteen teaching the women because we provided a hot lunch in those days, and you still do. Connie was only very young there, but her mother was in charge. And so from there we organised a lot of functions to raise funds. The Holly Frolic was one for the students. The sock hop was for the parents, which we had in the gym because we were here when the brand new gym was first built. So that was a fun night. And Halloween, and each varying classes in the high school was given the task of providing entertainment for the littlies because there was no place for them to go in those days to celebrate Halloween. So they all used to come to the gym, have a great time, and the high school students would provide the entertainment, and, they'd have their 10 cents or, 1 ringgit to play games and things like that, which was fun. And other than that, the school has had some wonderful teachers, and I can prove that because I've had 4 students go through, and they've all done well. So that is the last 4 years of their education, which is very important. So that's about it. I forgot. Yeah. I had to tell the story about the fact that we had 3 deaths here, and there was a graveyard here, and the spirits were there, and they didn't do the right thing when they moved into the school, so that it was predicted that there would be three deaths, and unfortunately there were 2 teachers. One was the French teacher, and he was found on the bottom of the pool because he was practicing holding his breath because he wanted to go across to the east coast to do some not scuba diving, but free diving. And then the second one was phys ed teacher who fell into the pool and hit his head, so he died. And the third one, we were having a intramural activities between Singapore and here, and it wasn't the students from the school. They used the gym, but it was the older generation, and unfortunately one had a heart attack, so I had to do an R&R on him, but he was DOA when he got to the hospital. So they were the 3 deaths that had occurred. So whatever was predicted did come true. So they had the BOMOs in, everybody else came in, and the spirits were dissipated, thank God. And that's about all. I taught here at the school. I used to come in on 9-week segments and do it. One of the fun classes I had was doing a 9-week course on teaching the high school, year 12, one-pot cooking. The reason being that when they went off to university, they could have, their ring, their hot plate, and so they could make some food. So that was a lot of fun. Jan Bub also had another course here, which was called Survival, and she was a PE teacher. And the Survival course also was excellent because they learned how to change light globes, how to fix a fuse, everything that you wouldn't have to do when you went back to the States that you sort of missed out on here because you always had someone else to do it. So that was also a popular 9-week course. And I taught in the art, taught batik and painting here. I would highly recommend the school. I have taught in Taipei, in Taiwan, and we've lived in Bangkok. And I can say that the school has the culture here of the local people, and it's much easier for them to do that here. International school in Taipei, we were there when the Vietnam War was on, so it was a lot of military there at that time. Different sort of sets of parents. But here has been, I would highly recommend that anyone who is settling here, they'll never get their children a better education. One thing I would mention, that when Jenny was going through, when she was in year 12 in 1975, Australia wouldn't accept an American education to get them into university within Australia. So about 12 months before she graduated, I sort of started pounding the universities, knocking on doors, and to demand that the American education be accepted within Australia. I think Jenny was one of the first to go into a university in Sydney with a American high school education. She had to get accepted to 3 universities in the States. She had a great SAT score, and all that was taken into account. She was admitted to medicine. So my other daughter, did pure mathematics, and the maths program here was very, very good. It was interesting because they used to have calculus one year and not the next, so we always stomped around and said you've got to have calculus every year, especially if you're going back to Australia. You cannot enter university without, if you don't have calculus.